I'm actually very happy to speak after Ilan Gold because I think, and listening to Nathan, that all of you and all of us worldwide, Jewish people, have all the rights to smile. When I came to Moscow in May, for the first time in May 1987, 30 years ago, who could imagine that Nathan Sharansky, the hero of Jewish people, will be the chairman of Jewish Agency, being born in Ukraine, or myself, being born not far away from his city, will be the executive vice president of the World Jewish Congress. We won this battle. Ambassador Danon, dear friends, and I see many, many friends in this room. I would like to remind everybody when Danny Danon initiated this meeting about a year ago, we had in this room 1,500 people. I want to tell you that we closed the registration for this event 4 days ago, as probably all of you saw on the website. It was completely sold out, and 3,200 people registered to the event, and thank you all of you for coming. I'm speaking to you today on behalf of the World Jewish Congress President, Ronald Lauder, and on behalf of the more than 100 Jewish communities worldwide he represents. It has been almost 70 years since the United Nations approved the creation of the State of Israel. Unfortunately, and I think this is the core issue, far too many people have still not come to terms with the fact that such a Jewish state, the State of Israel, exists. It is now time to confront this matter once and for all. We must tell all who question Israel's very right to exist. The State of Israel is not up for negotiation. The State of Israel is here to stay. We must tell them that we will not be silent when Israel is singled out for condemnation. The boycott, divestment and sanctions movement says it wants peace. It claims to fight under the banner of human rights. But this movement is biased on lies and based on lies, incitement and deception. BDS is not about peace. BDS is not about helping the Palestinians. BDS is not about human rights. What BDS really wants is to deny the Jewish people's right to a homeland in Israel. They want to put the clock back not to 1967. They want to put the clock back to 1947. BDS is not interested in two-state solution. And BDS is a hypocrisy in action. In Israel, Jews are safe. But not only Jews are safe there. Israel is also a country with an Arab population of more than 1.5 million. Muslims, Christians, Druze, Baha'i, and others live freely in Israel. Israel is the safest place in the Middle East for Christians. Israel is the safest place in the Middle East for women. In Israel, Arab citizens are equal under the law. And yet, BDS singles out Israel, only Israel, nothing but Israel. Let's face it, BDS doesn't care about human rights, because BDS ignores inconvenient facts. All they care about is rallying the world against Israel. They're hypocrites. But in recent years, the fight back has started. Israel is not alone in this battle. The Jews in the diaspora have joined this fight. Kol Israel Arevim Ze Leze, as the WJC motto goes, no matter where in the world, we are responsible for one another, and Nathan's story is the example of this. And let me tell you this, we are winning more and more battles. In the past few years, 17 US states have passed legislation against BDS. I want to thank them all. They deserve a round of applause. At the federal level, Congress passed a law that opposes politically motivated actions that penalize or otherwise limit commercial relations with Israel, such as BDS. And this year, Senators Joe Manchin and Marco Rubio introduced the Combating BDS Act of 2017. This calls for protecting states and local governments from lawsuits over anti-BDS legislation, and then only a few days ago, it was followed by the additional proposal of Act of Senators Cardin and Portman. The BDS movement has also suffered significant losses in Canada, the UK, France, and Spain. Once again, I will say it loud and clear. Operation Fight Back is underway, and we are winning. As we all know, and it was said a few times before me, the United Nations, where we are meeting today, has a well-documented anti-Israel reputation. So many resolutions and decisions have been passed in this very room, and the Security Council, at UNESCO, just last week at both the Human Rights Council and the Commission for Status of Women, and by so many other UN bodies. How ironic that these resolutions are passed by so many countries which, unlike Israel, are guilty of human rights violations and abuses. And how ironic that this is occurring in the United Nations, an organization founded on the principles of objectivity and humanity. So, it may sound strange to hear what I am about to say. Winds of change are blowing even here at the UN headquarters. A new Secretary General took office in January, and the first signs are promising. WGC President Ronald Lauder and I had a meeting with Antonio Guterres a few days ago, and I know this. Secretary General Guterres is a friend of the Jewish people. He wants Israel to be treated fairly, just like any other country. We're also seeing fresh hope with the new U.S. Ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, that just was with us today. In the few months that she has been in the United Nations, Ambassador Haley has already made clear that she stands with Israel, that she stands up against the bias that prevails here. She has demanded that the Human Rights Council rid itself of this bias and return to its mandate of protecting human rights worldwide. We can't change the majorities in the Human Rights Council, at UNESCO, at the Security Council, or in the General Assembly, but we can make our voices heard. And let me tell you, we are being heard. We must win over people who stand on the sidelines. We must listen to their concerns and to their criticism of Israel when it is balanced and due. Our job is to promote Israel, to promote its right to exist, as well as its achievements and accomplishments. In short, we must set the agenda and not leave the field to Israel's enemies. We know that the state of Israel is not perfect. No country is. But it is not an oppressor. It is not a racist apartheid state. It is a free, democratic, innovative, open country with a strong civil society in this part of the world where that is not a minor achievement. Let's share the success story with the world. Thank you all very much for coming here today.